Hello, this is Nicholas Tanek with YourKinkyFriends.com, and oh my God, she is back. This magnificent woman is amazing. I would highly recommend you check out, if you like this interview, check out the part one. This is part two. Part twos are pretty much more laid back, but we're still gonna talk. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about wrestling. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna get really in deep into face sitting.
Yes. Yes.
And paying classes and all of that stuff. Please welcome as I always say, please welcome the wonderful, the magnificent, all bow down and worship this woman. She is amazing. And it's Domina, not Mistress.
Correct.
Domina.
Correct.
All right. Maybe we should talk about that too. We'll talk about that a little more, the difference between Domina and Mistress. But please welcome the Dom Cat, Domina Katarina Pierce. Say hi.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you for that introduction.
Oh, well, thank you for being here.
Quite majestic. I feel like I should be following like flower petals and elephants and shit.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. I'll get emails on how much people love you.
Oh, yay! Love my clips and my OnlyFans too.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me. I gotta ask about that. Clips and OnlyFans. All right. So we talked a couple months ago. We talked around the summer, and what have you been up to since the last time we talked?
How crazy is it that was just June?
I know. Time goes sometimes because of COVID and stuff. I don't even remember what day it is.
I don't even some things feel like oh, thank you, Aaron. Some things feel like an entire year, and some things feel like a day, and June just feels like an entire a whole other vintage era, bell bottoms were in style and Jefferson Airport. It feels so long ago. I don't understand it. But yeah. So since then, I mean, I've been, doing 2020 like everybody else. Things aren't really, in person. So classes are very limited, teaching workshops online, kind of a thing. Doing a lot more filming, a lot more with my clip store, a lot more filming. A lot more. There's a really exciting 2-day conference coming up that I am dying to tell you about. So that's a thing that's coming.
Please do, yeah.
And just working on, not dying, I guess. Just not dying. Yeah. So that's kind of how 2020 is. The government hasn't shown up for a lot of people, and especially sex workers. So, like some people, I do have to take a few in-person sessions, and try and do as much harm reduction as I can. But just enough so that I can eat. Chastity training, of course.
We'll get to that. I got questions.
Sorry, I get outside. I'm like, yes, let's lock up a dick. So yeah, I can talk about the Pornhub thing right now if you'd like.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's talk about film and trust me, Amit Kundu, we're gonna talk about chastity training. She's very experienced with it. She likes it. She actually enjoys it. It's not like a chore for her. Yeah, and so we'll get into it. Just keep watching, okay? We love you, man. We love you, man. All right, so okay, yeah, let's talk about clips for sales and OnlyFans. First of all, what is your most requested custom video, and personally, what is your favorite? And they could be the same thing.
Okay.
But they don't have to be.
My most requested customs are Zentai videos.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because it's like so niche that like it's just kind of like one of those things that I do, so people come to me because I do them. Um, my favorite ones to do. My favorite clips to do are like the real silly shit ones that like everyone is just honestly like just indulging me, like a Face It orchestra. Like just things that like I really had to do just to get that out of my system kind of thing.
Mhm.
The Face It Orchestra is one where like I was just sitting, like we had three Doms. It was me and Ursa and Lana Luxor, and we were sitting on three faces. And every time that we sat up, the sub had to sing a note. So we only used like a 3-note song because they still couldn't even get that together. It was just hot cross buns. So each sub had one single note to sing. And the only time they had to sing it was when we allowed them air. So there really was like very little room for error, and they still messed it up completely. So it was very hard to keep a straight face, and I wanted it to be very like philharmonic, like we're walking into the orchestra, you know, like very like we're sitting down, and like Ursa had like a friggin' tin whistle, and she was like playing the tin whistle and shit, and like it's ridiculous. But those are like that was like one of my favorite to film, and it was really fun.
It's a face-sitting orchestra.
Face-sitting orchestra, yeah, and I'm dying to do another one, but it's like it's a lot to put together because you have to like get people, and obviously 2020 is not really conducive to that.
Yeah.
But right now, my most popular clip in my store is I think it's the ass job clip.
The what?
I did an ass job clip. I recently was like, you know what? Let's do something spicy. So I did an ass job clip. And
What is an ass job clip?
so a hand job is, you know, you use your hand, right? So
Yeah.
the ass as like basically like a hot dog bun, and you just whoop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's skip ahead from the questions and let's go right to the face sitting. All right,
Yes.
let's go right to the face sitting. First of all, what advice would you give to somebody giving or receiving who has no experience with face sitting, giving or receiving at all?
Go.
Oh, Kitty.
He says hello.
Hi.
Giving or receiving, definitely communicate. Pay attention to the person that you are either sitting on or being sat on. It's part of the fun is like being terrified for some people, that like you're not gonna like ever let up and you're gonna murder them. But also people have to realize when they're getting sat upon. Like I just actually had somebody recently on Instagram just say like, have you ever knocked anybody out with a hand over mouth smother? And I'm like, you mean murder? Have I ever murdered? No, I've never murdered someone.
Have I ever committed assault?
Right, yeah, because that's like ceasing someone to breathe. That's literal murder. No, I've never done that. So people just have to be aware of that kind of boundary when it's breath play, because you're not squeezing the artery. It's not like, oh, I'm getting lightheaded, I'm just gonna pass out. It's like you're stopping someone from breathing, or you're not breathing. So you have to be cognizant of like everything that happens to your body when you do that.
Okay, so I had to ask this. Actually, someone asked me to ask this after they knew I was interviewing you. All right.
I wonder if it's someone who knows the story.
No, I don't know, but when sitting on someone's face back there, are you clean or dirty?
Unless I get a request, I shower. I'm clean. But yeah, I mean, unless there's like some kind of request. I have had I've definitely had moments where I'm like, ah, fuck this guy, I'm not gonna shower. But like, I mean, I always do. Just the idea of being like, haha, I'm gonna get him. That's really funny to me. But no, I do shower. I do shower.
Okay, Amit asks, do you like to pee in slave face during face sitting?
I have not peed while sitting on someone, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's always been from above. But I would absolutely try it. I love peeing on people. I actually just filmed because Clips for Sale just recently allowed you to pee on people.
They didn't allow that?
No, because a lot of people don't realize it's the banks and the payment processors that tell like these porn, like the like Clips for Sale and Pornhub, what they're allowed to have on their sites. So the bank was like, no, we won't accept payments for clips where people pee on other people. And now they're like, nah, it's totally cool. So we're allowed to pee on people, I guess, now. So I just filmed a golden clip.
You're allowed to pee. Thanks, officer.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. But still don't close my bank account because, you know, I'm a sex worker and you hate women. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's actually a good idea. I might what's
See,
the
admit
angles?
You inspired Domina and Katarina. Yeah, see what you do, see what your influence does. That's great.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some fun. So, okay, let me ask you this. Face sitting. All right. Why, first of all, this is a two-part question. Why do you think it's so popular? Because it is very popular, you know. And why do you personally like it?
Well, I think it's popular because I mean breath play is kind of exciting. But it's also, I mean, it's so like, I mean, it's so naughty, right? I mean, you're taking yeah, it's your butt, but it's also your pussy. Like you're taking your pussy and you are smothering somebody with your nether bits. And that's very naughty. And that's very like, what else I mean, you're literally like, that's the dream, right? Having a hot chick sit on your face. Like, come on. Right. So like that's who wouldn't like that?
I like that. I'm gonna put that in the summary. Smothering people with my nether bits. I like that. That's good.
But yeah, so it's that's part of what I like it because it like really it appeals to the sadist in me because I know that they're panicking under there. But also it is kind of sexy depending on who's under there, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And it, like I'm not flirting with you or anything, but you are a very beautiful woman. What?
I said you cad.
No, but you're a very, very beautiful woman, so it's, you know, like I get it. I get it. So, but okay, so yeah, you answered the both questions. Okay. Okay, let's go back. What was your very, very first session like, and what do you think you did wrong?
My very, very first session. I can tell you about my very, very first session in the dungeon that I worked at for 3 whole days. In my very, very first session, yeah, 3 whole days. It was a whole thing. They told them I was a writer. 3 days later, they're like, oh, we hear you're a writer. Can't work for us. I'm like, I'm not going to expose about your shitty dungeon. It's cool, but whatever. But anyway, so my first session, I mean, the dude definitely thought it was my first day on Earth because, you know, I'm like Bambi on ice in like these high heels, right? None of the girls told me that the first room had a step down, so I almost bit it walking in, right? So I'm new to him, so I'm obviously new to like the entire universe. And really all he wanted to do was just like I was expecting one kind of session and he was expecting to just rub his penis on me. And I was just like, no, that's not how this works. That's not.
Yeah.
No. And I know some people are kind of like, well, you just have to get used to them groping you. And I'm like, do I?
Like personally, because I'm friends with a lot of dominatrixes, and I am very thankful that they kind of schooled me on etiquette. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't even ever think of having sex with a dominatrix or doing something or touching them in any way unless they demanded me to. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It goes beyond just basic consent, which already is a thing. Which is already a thing that we should allow other humans,
Yeah, that's so true.
But then also when it's a dominatrix, like you're kind of like this whole thing is that, do you just walk up and put your grubby hands on this, like, come on,
I mean, it is
your face sitting them. Like, quit moving your mouth. You're not going to do anything for me, buddy. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, okay, technically, legally, being a dominatrix is considered sex work, but it's not. And there's nothing. I think prostitution should be legal. It's not prostitution. It's
right, and it depends too. It depends on. Because, I mean, there are dominatrices who do blowjobs. There are dominatrices who do topless. There are dominatrices who will not touch a dick. There are dominatrices who wrestle. There are dominatrices who do sounding, who won't do, other things. There are some who only take fem subs. It's completely, that's the beauty of BDSM, is like, it's not just this monolith. I know we all have this, like, compulsive need to label and categorize things because it makes us feel better. But that's the beautiful part of this, is that, like, we're the sexual outlaws where we don't have to fit into labels and we don't have to fit into categories. So, and when you're a dom, that's part of the gig. You make the rules.
Yeah, and it's not like you're like because there are prostitutes and stuff like that who are just very desperate and they'll do anything, whereas a dom, they make the rules.
Well, there's a difference between also too, like, a full service sex worker. I mean, there's a difference between a full service sex worker who does full service because they have to, and a full service sex worker who does full service because they want to. Those, one's survival sex work and one is an autonomous choice. So that there's a difference on that. And either whatever anybody chooses is absolutely totally their choice, and I support that.
Okay, definitely. Now, let's talk wrestling.
Yeah.
All right, we had a long conversation wrestling in our first interview, but I got some different questions here.
Okay.
All right. So without giving your secrets away, all right, keep your cards close to the chest. But, because I want you to win your rounds.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to be the most effective move. But what is your favorite move, either that you do or that you've seen?
Oh, well, my favorite move that I do is quite effective. It's the rear naked choke.
All right, please explain that.
So the rear naked choke is beautiful because if you're a big dum-dum, you give me your back, jump on your back, and I take my little phoenix eye and I slide it in here and I make it real chunky and real gross, and you hate it and it feels awful. And I take this and I give you a big violent hug. And I put my arm around your neck, and I could use two arms. That's fine. But also, too, you know what? I only need one arm to choke a bitch.
So for those who don't know, what is a phoenix eye?
Oh, a phoenix eye is when you take your ooh, there's my camera. When you take your, like, thumb and your forefinger and you go like this, and you get real chunky with it. You go, rah. It's my favorite thing in the world, because, like, when somebody their neck, you just go like, and you get in there. On that one.
Pretty awesome.
Because I really want that choke. And I like it because, there's always a backup to it. There's always something if you're not, or you can't get them in that angle. There's always some other thing that you can do. But just holding onto someone's back, it's like, you're the big spoon.
Yeah, definitely. Now, a lot of especially professional wrestling and stuff like that, music's involved, and a lot of dominatrixes use music in their sessions and stuff like that. But specifically with wrestling,
Mhm.
do you use music or no?
I do. I like to keep some music on in the background. I've done like it depends too on what kind of session. I have like different playlists. I kind of have like a femdom playlist with the stuff that kind of pumps me up. I have there's some songs that like I really love to like wrestle hard to. So those are on like my wrestling playlists. There are some like more like sexier, flirtier kind of playlists that I like to have on when I'm face sitting. I tried to use
So there's face sitting music, and then there's wrestling music,
and then there's femdom music. Yeah.
then there's femdom music. Okay.
Yeah.
The whole new genre.
I know, right? But I put on like I think it was like Sade Pandora for a face sitting.
Oh, I love Sade.
Right? I do too. And then I was like doing a face sitting session and I was sitting and all of a sudden like Hotel California came on and it was just real weird to like sit on somebody's face to like a song that my dad taught me how to play on piano, I was just like, this is not Sade. So
I now have this vision of you sitting on someone's face while like sweetest taboo.
Well, then I started using Spotify, which works because then I could pick whatever song I want and make my playlist. But I don't have Spotify Plus. So like every so often I'll be sitting on a face to like a dollop of Daisy or like whatever the fuck commercial comes on, like just some like what's his name? Like We Are Farmers or Nationwide Insurance. And I'm just like, this is not helping at all. I apologize to your nuts, sir.
I've been there, like, weird commercials come up, or like you just have stuff on. You have songs on like YouTube or something streaming, and then all of a sudden, it like laxative commercial comes up, and you're like, what the fuck?
Right? Could you imagine like all my clients are all of a sudden just going to start popping boners when they see like sour cream in the grocery store and they're not going to know why. And it's going to be because of my Spotify playlists.
Yeah. Like, welcome to DoorDash. During COVID-19, and you're just like, oh. All right, let's get back to wrestling. There is something I do want to ask about face sitting, which I hope, but let's get back to wrestling real quick. Do you ever play dirty? Because like there are dirty wrestlers, like poking in the eyes, the ears.
Pro style for sure. I am a natural heel. And actually. Okay. I was just filming with Lana Luxor and she's like, you want a good bad guy? It's Cat. You want a good bad, like I play a good bad guy. It's just, I guess it's just fun. It's just fun to be mischievous.
Yeah.
And those are those dirty moves you're not supposed to be doing. I love that. I think I really do like the idea of like just being able to misbehave and do those things you're not supposed to do.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
I know someone, his name is Greg Gethard. He's Chris Gethard's brother. He absolutely adores wrestling. And he like in real life, he plays the heel. Like he plays, he knows what's gonna piss people off. The people he doesn't like, he plays it very well. He's really good at it.
Yeah, that's the fun part. Like, who wants to be the goody hero? Everybody you want to be the exciting heel, the one that you don't know what's going to happen next.
Definitely. Now, okay, so when you face it, all right, this is going to sound like a weird question, even though I've asked a bunch of weird questions already. But is it always with a naked butt, or sometimes with panties?
No, normally what I wear in a session is a thong, unless I get any kind of request. But like I have someone who likes when I wear yoga pants. So I know that when he asks for a session, I wear yoga pants.
That's funny that you say that, because more and more dominatrixes are getting requests for yoga pants.
That's weird. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, but we yeah, the one guy I know, somebody that I see not regularly but often. Yeah, he likes yoga pants. But normally, like, I just wear a thong, and or like a bikini bottom that's a thong, or any kind of bottom. It just gets sucked up into my ass because it's giant, and everything just goes up into it. So I think pretty much anybody who is contacting me kind of knows that that's what they're going to get. So unless they make a request that they want something else, they're getting a thong. You know
what? That just gave me an idea.
You need to ask for a bodysuit.
That just gave me an idea. Mistress Nix, she's really into smothering and face sitting. And I think we should do a panel show with both of you just about face sitting and smothering. I think that would be great.
Can we sit on people's faces and only let them breathe while we're being asked a question?
Sure. I'm not going to stop you, but YouTube, is very big on censorship, so you're going to have to wear some clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great idea.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
All right, we'll talk after. I'll make this happen. Trust me.
Okay. On air scheduling.
Oh yeah. Totally. Oh, I do everything on it. Punk rock style. All right. So last time we talked, you were talking about a pegging class. Now, you were teaching this pegging class?
Well, I think at that point I was hoping that Test Fest was still going to be a thing. And it very much was not. I was supposed to teach a pegging class for Test Fest. Ursula Fierce and I had taught a foot domination class for Tess earlier in the year. And through, talking to people through that, we were discussing being able to teach a pegging class for Test Fest that happens every July, but that was canceled. So
okay. Now, what would you say makes a good strap-on dildo?
Definitely has to be rigid enough. One thing that I've kind of I listen, when Domina tells you to get something, get it, okay? You're talking to me because I'm a professional, all right? This is real talk right into the camera right now. When I say I want the red glitter dildo, that's because it's my dream dildo. Buy me that fucking dildo. But it's the some of them, like I've had people buy them, they're like, oh, well, this one's cheaper. And it's like, well, yeah, because it's like pushing rope. Like, you're never gonna get it in there. There has to be some kind of like something to it. Also, people are very like, I get it. It's a daunting task if you've never done it before and you're like, oh man, that's going somewhere that has never, I don't understand it. But you can do it. Don't do it. Something that's like this big, because by the time you put it in the harness and you latch it in there with your O-rings, you're gonna have this much to use, and that's not enough to like even get it in your butt. It's not gonna work. You need like a good 6 inches, because you don't have to deep dick the whole time. You could just put it in, figure out what works for you. Just because you have it doesn't mean you have to go, pardon the expression, because this isn't the craziest thing I've already said, but balls to the wall, You
should, we did a pegging episode, a whole episode with, it's a panel episode. Those are really fun, and I really want you to be involved in those. And because not only will you make a lot of connections, and like they'll promote it, which will promote you, and but it's just a really good time.
That'd be fun.
Okay, so bear with me. Okay.
No worries.
Molten member, turgid shaft, fiery furnace, pleasure pearl of passion. I like the alliteration on that one. It's horrible.
A man wrote that.
What?
A man wrote that.
Honey-coated turgid phallus.
Oh, Lord.
And velvet mall. The list goes on and on.
Velvet Mall?
Velvet Maw. MAW. So
MAW. I thought it was the mall. I was like, is this a Silent Bob film? What?
As a fellow writer, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the worst? And you don't have to name names of the authors or anything, but what are some of the worst names that people named private parts, men or women?
Oh man, I'm trying to think of some really good ones. I mean, we've all come up with some real silly things.
No, I did. Yeah, I'm lucky I have an editor. That's
yeah, because I mean, when I was writing articles, I had to get like real playful with it in order to get things through. So I've definitely called a dick a Yankee Doodle Dandy or some shit like that. Yank your Doodle Dandy. I think that's what it was. I think I said yank your Doodle Dandy. So there, yeah. I don't like when they call it a sheath. I hate when they call a penis a sheath. I don't understand that. That I don't get. What are you taking out of it?
Wait, what?
Like, what are you taking out? If that's your sheath, then what are you taking out?
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, that's a good point. That's
right.
Because a sheath holds something.
Right.
I guess that's circumcised penises. Maybe that's a stretch.
A sword. Those are fun. Being like sorted. Doesn't sound fun. Being stabbed.
All right. Pasanto Dad says good looking.
Why? Thank you, Pasanto.
All right. If you got a question, that'd be better, but still, okay.
Yeah.
So we did pagan class. We did the fire furnace. All right. Sadism.
Furnace. Just a fucking box. So weird.
All right. Sadism. Last time we talked, it says that you've done a lot of sadistic things, and keep in mind they're consensual.
Yes.
And but since we last talked, have you done anything mental or physical that has been very sadistic?
Since we last talked, I haven't had that many sessions that have allowed me the in-person experience to unleash my full sadism. I do remember one of my first sessions in that dungeon that I was in for 3 whole days. I had an hour and a half session, and I made the guy cry 4 times, and it was like, I have never felt anything as warm as a mother's embrace. And that's what it was like, man. It was just like 4 times. And every time I would just like, all right, I'll let up on you. And you're crying again. Yes. It was so good.
Okay. So let's say, and like, I'm not like, you know me. So I'm not like looking for free shit. I'm not looking for free content. Let's say you have a client, they're COVID free, and you have 24 hours to do anything sadistic to them at all. what do you do?
I would definitely cane. There would be caning. There would have to be humiliation involved. I mean, mind fuckery. I just really like laughing when people are in pain. Just like this.
My Dom likes that too. Like when she's the kind of person who, like, for example, she has a ruler from the 3rd grade. It's a little ruler, and it's made of wood.
Uh-huh.
If she ever spanks me with it, every time I'm like, "Ow, fuck, it hurts," she just starts cracking up.
It makes me laugh so hard. I was trying to be real calm and real chill, like when I was peeing on this guy for this clip, and then I just laughing so hard because that makes me laugh all the time. Like just someone else's misery just makes me laugh. I was watching Lana face it Jayla Ray at Doom Maidens. And like Jayla was making these tiny little yips of suffering. And like Lana was just like didn't care. She just kept sitting on her. And I was just we were watching it being filmed, so we had to be quiet. But I was losing my shit. I could not like, take my shirt and like cover myself. Everyone else around me started laughing, and like they stopped filming and it was over. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm sick. Like, I didn't know how to explain it to her. I was like, it's just my brain. It's just my brain. Like I didn't know how to explain it to her. Like I really enjoy watching you suffer, Jayla.
All right. So another thing, CBT, which is also sadistic. For those who don't know, and anyone who's watching this knows CBT is cock and ball torture. But for those, what are some very creative and not typical ways to torture cock and balls?
I hosted some gatherings, and I got to do some CBT recently. So I guess that is pretty sadistic because that was very enjoyable for me. A Dom sent their sub and was like, "Hey, any of the Doms that are here, please tell them to kick him as hard as they can." So we did, and that man was just sweating. He was just sweating. As soon as they told me, they were like, they knew Kat was going to be excited. Like I took off my heels, I took off my skirt, was in my bodysuit. I'm like, here I go. All right, yeah. Like being real nice to him, and I was like, oh, was she real nice to you? And I just look him right in the eye and just keep kneeing him, like, look at me in the eyes.
It's like you're running a marathon.
It was so good. It was so fun. I was so pumped up after that. I think last time I talked a little bit about the one session that I had. I went in on a friend session, and we were using we popped a champagne cork on the guy. We used one of the other girls as a battering ram. So we definitely, I mean, really, like if you walk around.
Wait, you used a woman as a battering ram for a cock and ball?
Yeah, we picked her up. We picked her up and just hit like storm. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean, I'm not kink shaming or anything, but that's really funny and creative. I gotta admit, that's really good.
Yeah, and then we opened a champagne bottle on so that the cork went like and hit him. It was great. And then he put on skinny jeans, and I don't know how he did that, like a busted can of biscuits. Just put that shit on.
I remember that story.
Yeah. I was like, how did you do that?
Okay.
Forever be one of my favorites.
So, Amit, I hope you're watching. Now we're going to talk about Chastity. Last time we talked, you didn't have anybody in Chastity. Do you have anybody in Chastity right now?
I do not. But I did get to play with a fun new Chastity device that I didn't get to previously play for. I got to put a nice sort of like sounding rod in someone's pee hole. and clamp it up for an electric shocking chastity cage, which is like next level. So I'm very into that. So that was my first electro chastity experience. So somebody like showed me, you know, was like, okay, let's insert this, do this whole medical thing, and yeah, I'm looking forward to more of that. I did put Hans Vanderkill in chastity for a clip, but he didn't stay there. He didn't.
Oh.
He didn't. He's not a sub, but I somehow get him to do real subby things.
Did he? All right. Did he like beg to get out, or you were like, okay, you can come out?
Well, I needed his dick for another clip, so I let him.
Okay. Okay. So, all right, Chastity. Now we have some. Everyone's got some questions for you.
Okay.
This may get dark. I don't know.
Okay.
What was your worst session memory?
Worst session memory. I'm trying to think. I don't have one that like particularly sticks out that I can think of. I mean, that first one where he was trying to rub his dick on me, that wasn't great. That wasn't a great feeling. But I will say that even that short time there really taught me to be strong and firm in my boundaries, and be like, no, these are valid. These are my boundaries. There's a reason why I feel good when this happens, and there's a reason why I feel bad when this happens. And I'm the person who gets to make these decisions.
Yeah.
So even out of like that crappy experience, I feel like it shaped, like it gave me something that benefited me anyway. I know it's so something bad, it's something good out of bad, but you know.
Subs, show respect.
Yes.
Yes. I am. I'd say 99% of my friends are women, and I know a lot of them. I'm very fortunate to have a lot of friends. I'm very fortunate to have a lot of friends in the kink community, and I've heard horror stories of just men or subs just treating people like shit, and that sucks. Okay, so don't do it.
Don't do it. We're number one, we're human. Number two, this is our job. And just as you find value in it, and that's why you come to us, there's a reason why there's a money sign next to it. Because it has value. So respect that. And our time.
Aaron also asked, have you ever dominated someone with a mental disability or like autism or depression? And how did you handle these kind of people?
Yeah, it's something that like I would discuss with someone before when I'm kind of doing like a little intake. We have a discussion before we do any kind of domination, or we talk about their limits. Everyone's different. Everyone processes information differently. So sometimes, you know, someone might be forgetful not because of, you know, willful disrespect, but they might be forgetful because, you know, it's part of their cognitive function. So that's something that like you then have to work into the session and you have to kind of work around. Instead of being punished for being forgetful, you know, there are workarounds. Depression, there are people who've had instances of abuse where things in a session might remind them of, you know, might trigger those things. And that's something that we end up talking about. You know, dominatrices are not therapists, even though sessions can be therapeutic. But because it is a mind and body thing, these are all conversations. It always starts with a conversation.
Definitely, communication is
about
very
people's people's comfort level and boundaries.
Okay, so besides clips for sale or digital fans, what other kind of digital platform? Because everything's digital nowadays. You know, what kind of other digital platforms would you recommend for someone who's just getting into the industry?
Someone who's just getting into the industry, clips for sale is the biggest paid, you know, for your porn, for your clips, for your fetish clips. I feel like as problematic as Pornhub might be, it's the largest search directory for porn, so you kind of have to be on there. OnlyFans is big. A lot of people aren't on AVN. I know some people aren't fans of AVN. They have some problematic policies. But the OnlyFans and AVN are big ones. Trying to think. Night Flirt and Sex Panther. Those are two that are big. Some people are on both. I personally prefer Sex Panther because I would rather just pick up my phone and randomly text at any time than like have my phone on and like take calls, because I'll forget that I have the phone on and be like, shit, what, you know, and like miss a call or something because like, you know, maybe I got high or something. I don't know. I'm
eating pizza or I'm taking a shower.
You're like, wait, I was watching a show. But so I really like Sex Panther. So if you kind of get on one of those, it's also a really great way to have clients be able to reach you in a way that's not email, so that they can kind of talk to you about their fantasies without having to, you know, just chat over email.
Okay, now this is a deep question.
Okay.
Did you ever get your single tail flogger?
No, but I have been sessioning in a friend's dungeon, and she has a single tail there, so I have gotten to use it. So I'm totally fine with that. I'm okay with being like the cool aunt to the fetish toys.
So you hear that, everybody?
Except glitter dick, I want that.
All right. So everybody, gift Domina, Katarina,
yes,
Domina, Katarina, a glitter dick,
red glitter dick,
a red glitter. That's important,
yeah.
And a single tail flogger, and who knows what will happen with that. So, all right. So, all right, all right. Impact play. We talked about, you know, floggers and whips and stuff like that. Some people give their toys names. Some people give their strap-ons names. You know what I mean? Do any of your toys have names?
No, they don't. They don't have any names. Surprisingly, I do remember I was working an event. Was it last year? I think. One of my friend Tiana's events, and she had someone who was doing flogging, but electro flogging, and she had heard names like thunder and lightning or something like that, and but they were like the electric charged floggers.
That sounds like superhero shit.
Right? Very, very much. It was very cool. Yeah, I don't have them. I don't have them named.
You don't have your name? Oh, Miss Melissa's here. Do you have any names for your toys?
No, Luna does that though.
Yeah, Luna does that.
I never name my toys.
What's your favorite Luna's name? My friend Luna.
My favorite name of Luna's toys?
Yeah.
The Inspector.
Yeah.
It's cute. Is that a dildo?
Yeah. Oh, he's got tons of dildos. And she's been on the show quite a bit. So
my friend Vonna has a Big Daddy. That's a dildo. That's her favorite dildo.
It's also an Adam Sandler movie.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely has Big Daddy.
All right, digital platform. The name. All right, now we're gonna wind stuff down. Once again, like before, we're gonna do rapid fire recommendations. They don't have to be kink related. Okay, so recommend the film.
Black Panther.
That is a good film. I did.
Right?
I'm not into superhero movies at all. And that poor guy died, you know, who played him. And
Don't even, that'll break my heart.
yeah,
That
definitely.
made me sad. I don't understand it because I don't even know him personally, but that made me sad. But that was like one of my favorite movies of like deep quarantine. It really was. I just recently saw Her, which was beautiful. And I just recently saw, oh my God, a better movie. A movie I even liked even more than that. And I don't remember what it was. I just started watching movies.
Really? Now?
Well, you know what it is? I have a thing about commitment. I don't want to sit down. Can you tell I'm not wearing pants? I have a thing about commitment, like sitting down and committing to a movie. So like if somebody's like, this is a good, what's that?
I watch movies in parts, especially like long ones.
Yeah, like I want to know that it's like I want to know that like okay, I have at least a decent chance of enjoying this. Also it's good because like I talk to the like I watched what was it? Us or whatever, that horror movie, and I was just like, Gabe, go outside, don't go outside, Gabe, like just scream laptop. And I'm just like, if like I can't watch this in the movie theater, I would get kicked out. You know, told you not to go outside, Gabe. You fucked up, Gabe. Like that's how I watch a movie now.
That was a solid movie, Jordan. Yeah, it's a solid movie. Okay, so what's funny, the movie Her is directed by Spike Jonze. Spike Jonze is I met him.
Really?
Yeah. He used to be a photographer, like just the photographer for like Skateboarding Magazine and BMX Magazine. And my brother was a BMX guy, and I was a little kid at that time, and I feel so old now. And but yeah, I met him. Dude is cool as hell. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Really funny. And being John Malkovich is a very unique movie.
Yeah, I actually have a fetish flick coming up that's like that.
Like being John Malkovich?
Yeah. So the idea is that they jump into my head, so they're seeing from my POV. So it was one of my deep quarantine. Like I want to reshoot it, but it's one of my like deep quarantine. I was like, I'm bored. What can I do? I'm only solo filming, so I think December is going to be a bunch of solo filming, so I'm going to get back into that stuff.
No, that's awesome. Like I don't want to give away your ideas, so we're not going to talk too much about it. But I think it's awesome that people are getting very creative during quarantine. You know what I mean? Seriously, like they're doing like weird shit, and they're having fun, and they're trying to find the silver lining in the cloud, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's the part of this whole thing is like you have to. I mean that's a part of this job is like it gives you that outlet, and to be able to find that when you're stuck in your apartment, isolated from other people, like that's a joy. That's a gift to be able to have that.
Well, yeah, and also it's like you're not in this like corporate job or where you have to be a certain way and act a certain way and
you see me in an office.
Yeah, and look a certain way. I just read articles about how Amazon is basically spying on their employees. Yeah, and so it's by being in the sex industry, you could do whatever the fuck you want, except unless it's against the law, which most people I know who are in the industry, they know the law, and they're like, yeah. All right.
You
So
can do anything except be eligible for like unemployment and stuff.
yeah.
You know, but-
Okay. So recommend a book.
Oh shit. I feel like I just read something. Didn't I just read some? No, you know what? I'm going to tell you A Brief History of Vice. I'm going to tell you that one because it's on my bookshelf and I read it like 2 years ago, but it was really good.
Okay.
And he takes stuff and he like makes like nonsense stuff like salamander wine and then tries to get his friends high in his apartment. It sounds awful. It sounds awful. It sounds like vomit and appropriation, but it's just really funny. I enjoyed it.
I definitely want to read that now.
Yeah,
I
it was really good.
definitely want to read it. All right. Recommend a television show.
Ooh, what have I watched recently that was really good?
What haven't you watched recently?
I know. I know. I've watched
I think I watched everything on Netflix and Hulu.
seriously. I mean, Archer will always be like a favorite of mine. Archer,
Danger Zone.
always, man. Always.
Pam is one of my favorite characters of all time.
Pam is really your favorite. That's funny.
Yeah.
That though, I could see her being a fave.
Sploosh.
Sploosh, yeah. I like Krieger. I like that Krieger. Like they think that he's this. He is a creep, but he has this whole backstory. I really enjoy.
What, Krieger?
Yeah, yeah. The whole heroic backstory that nobody like really like. Everybody was sleeping on Krieger because he is a creep, but everybody was sleeping on the heroic backstory.
No, but he's actually he's the good kind of creep if you really think about it. He's sure he makes Asian robots that look a little too young, you know, but and he's really into weird sex. TWAC name. I have no idea what that means.
I don't know what that means, babe.
Presento, you got to explain a little more, okay? We're here for you.
We need more letters.
Yes. Okay. Recommend a song. Any song.
Ribbon in the Sky by Stevie Wonder.
Oh, I miss Stevie Wonder.
He's good. He's so good.
Yeah, I know. Dude is so talented. Okay. Recommend a meal.
I know I talked about my favorite foods last time.
I know. I always ask about it.
I'm trying to think if I have anything.
I've been eating like crazy because of this COVID thing.
You know what? You know what I have in my fridge? My friend Melissa made potato leek soup, and her
that sounds good.
amazing extra super friend ass put it in an Uber and sent it to me. So I'm gonna have potato leek soup tonight with like fresh cream or something that she made on top of it. So I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that whole experience.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
I know. She's great. She's great. She even like gave me like chocolate for afterwards. Like the whole thing is an experience.
Nice.
She doesn't just like send you leftovers. She sends you an experience. She's amazing. She's a publicist. And I'm just like, everything you do is perfect. You could just tell.
Well, yeah, that's what publicists do. They make sure that like you're all taken care of.
Right? And I'm like, this is just like Monday. It's just a friend thing. She's still like, there's still like the envelope matches the tote bag. It's crazy. She's so good. She's so good. Melissa Vitale, PR. Hire her.
Okay. All right. Before we get to more plugs, which I'm all for plugs, you know, but we're gonna play the three word game.
Okay.
All right. So just say 3 words. They all have to start with the same letter.
Okay.
All right. One of them has to be kink related. The other doesn't. So, for example, sleep, showers, sex.
Okay.
All right. Or you can say sleep, shower, strap on. You know what I mean? You know, so what are your 3 words? Just for now.
Just any 3 words?
Yeah, but they all have to start with the same letter.
Okay. Now I'm like sleep shower or something. Let me try and think of different letters. Clothespin, cane. Wait, those are all fetish things. Oh,
They can be all fetish things. They don't all, but one of them at least has to be a fetish thing. I mean, you could do all fetish.
clothespin, cane, cock.
Okay. Oh, Craig 5 joins us in. Mistress, what's your view on SPH humiliation?
Craigs, do you have an SPH? Craigs. I think if it's your kink, baby, let's get in there. Let's get in there with that SPH and see what all the fuss is about.
No, you know what I was always wondering about with small penis humiliation, which is SPH humiliation. Like for example, my dom likes my cock. I said, you know, it's a little bit above average. It's not huge or anything like that, but it's substantial. And
it's cute. She lets you think back. Go ahead. Continue.
No, she really does like it. She really does like it. I've had poems written about it. So have you ever done small penis humiliation with large penises?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Yeah. How does that work?
If someone wants to believe if that's in their head, you think that's big, sweetie? Oh, cracks.
You just got SPH by Katarina.
You are the S in the SPH, my friend, Craigs. Yeah. Anyway, what?
How do you deal with people who want small penis humiliation, but their cocks are not small, or they're a little more than average?
It is hard because it's like there is cognitive dissonance. Like you're looking at this thing and you're saying the opposite. So you kind of really have to just not necessarily look at what you just kind of have to like look at the person and think of the experience instead of looking at the P that is not S that you need to H. So there's you need to kind of detach that visual a little bit.
That's I like how you turned it into a verb. All right. Oh my God. Once again, this has been a magnificent interview. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Please stay on the line.
Yeah. Oh, can I talk about the Pornhub thing really quickly?
Of course. Talk about anything you want.
Awesome. So we're doing this 2-day conference and it's called the Sex Work Survival Guide. And it's sponsored by Pornhub. So basically what it was this like idea that was like, it was going to be me in my living room on Jitsi with just like a couple of my friends, because I didn't know how to do stuff. Like I don't know how to use Bitcoin and stuff like that. And then I asked my friend Tiana, who has done all these amazing events, like, I don't even know where to start. How can you help me? Can you just tell me what to do? And then she started helping me. And then Lola jumped on, like we had her, and she's a machine. She's amazing. Between her and Tiana, the two of them, LolaJean.com is her thing, and Tiana is Glittersaurus Rex on Instagram. The two of them are like,
yeah, I know her.
They're so good. This conference has turned into a 2-day conference. It's basically like 10 hours each, and it's sponsored by Pornhub. We've partnered with BIPOC Collective, which is a new organization of Black, Indigenous people of color in the adult industry, started by Cinnamon Love as a response to the racism in the adult industry. And
there's a lot of.
Yeah, and it's going to be it's basically like it's like a Boy Scout thing, kind of like a Cub Scout thing, and you can earn like badges. So there's like safety and security, community, laws and legislation, production and content, community. Like there's all like different things that you can learn, and different keynote speakers, and oh, see, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about in the anti-racism in sex work panel that's going to be at the 2-day conference of the Sex Work Survival Guide. PC is one of those SEO and tokenism terms that are used that we're going to talk about. But yeah, so that's January 9th and 10th, and it's going to live on Pornhub for all of the foreseen eternity. And that's going to be free for all sex workers of all walks, all kinds. And then in order to like kind of test out Pornhub's new live stream software, we're going to do a Domathon on December 19th. So that is going to be our friend Kaya is going to be like basically like the Pain Olympics. Like she's like a human dunk tank. So we'll figure out like, you know, people can tip and we'll do whatever to her. Like she can take a beating. We're going to do Sex Jeopardy. We're going to do some of the Dom chats where we do some interviews. Pedicure.
Oh God.
It's going to be 10 hours of online entertainment with Doms on Pornhub, but it's going to be it's going to be our live stream December 19th. And those tickets are on Eventbrite. And if you go to my link tree, those links are on there also.
I want everybody to be on my show.
I'm telling you.
That sounds awesome.
Tiana, like when you talk to Tiana, it's like the sun is shining on you. I'm telling you. And Lula is like, she has done so many, like she and Tiana have put on so many events. Like without them, none of it would literally just be me in my apartment. Just I don't even know, on a calculator and abacus, just being like, numbers, guys. Like I wouldn't know how to do anything. They're so good. They're so good. Yeah.
That's awesome. So all right, we got to talk after this. So but in the meantime, before we end, please promote anything else that you want to promote too.
Okay.
So I'm talking OnlyFans. I'm talking clips for sale. I'm talking a website. I'm talking Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Go.
I'm basically the Domcat everywhere. TheDommeket. Instagram. I don't know. I have like 3 accounts because at this point, who knows? But I'm the Domcat on Twitter, on OnlyFans. If you find the Domcat Kinky Dominion on Clips for Sale, or you just do the domcatclips.com. And my link tree is just linktree/the Domcat. So, and a lot of this is linked on my website, which is just thedomcat.com. So I keep it really easy for you. Oh, honey. Oh, also, I'm the Domcat on Sext Panther. So if you want sexy chat, you can hit me up on sextpanther.com/the Domcat.
Yeah, two rules though. 2 rules. Don't waste a Dom's time and pay.
Good job, baby. But yeah, all that stuff you just talked about, Craigs. Yeah, baby. That's Sex Panther.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, stay out of line. I'm at yourkinkyfriends.com. We're at Patreon, patreon.com/YKF. Donate. We are working on exclusive content that you only can get if you pay. It's gonna be really fun. We got a lot of things working out. I'm talking sex toy advice, bands, burlesque, you name it.
Nice.
You like we got some friends. Yeah,
love burlesque.
Oh, burlesque. Oh, I'm a huge fan of it. It looks bigger, mistress.
So does your sense of self, Craigs.
Do you think 4 to 5 inches is small? Now, is that a rec or is that flaccid?
I don't know, but Craigs really thinks that people are a lot more interested in his penis than people really are.
Okay. Have fun with your penis, Craig.
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, have a good time. This is 2020.
It's 2020, baby. We're all just trying to get along.
Yeah, we're just trying to get right. See, go to yourkinkyfriends.com. I'm on Twitter at Nicholas Tanek. I'm on Facebook at Nicholas Tanek. We have a special group that's hidden called YKF on Facebook. And then there's also at Friends Kinky on Instagram and Twitter. And promote everybody. This is like, we do this for free. We do this for fun. You know what I mean? So, just celebrate everybody. And,
thanks, Joey Zanus. One of my favorite Instagram accounts is Secret Buttholes. So that's really, I do enjoy that that person is Joey Zanus.
This is fucking ridiculous. All right. And oh my God, it's getting late, my friends. My dom is calling me. And remember the cardinal rule, everybody. Be cool, be kind, and keep an open mind. Take care.